Welcome back to the channel, US Rare Coins News, Top 1. This small 1-cent coin from the United States might look ordinary at first glance, but what you're about to discover could completely change the way you see your pocket change forever. The 2009 D. Lincoln penny was not just another coin released into circulation, it was part of a very special year in American coin history. Created to celebrate the 200th birthday of Abraham Lincoln and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent design. Unlike regular pennies, the 2009 series features 4 different reverse designs, each telling a story from Lincoln's life, and the one minted in Denver with the D mint mark carries its own unique appeal that collectors are constantly searching for. These designs include Lincoln's birth and early childhood in Kentucky, his formative years in Indiana, his professional life in Illinois, and finally his presidency in Washington, D.C., making this coin series feel more like a historical timeline than simple currency. Now here is where things start to get exciting, because not all 2009 D. Lincoln pennies are equal, and some of them can be worth far more than just 1 cent depending on condition, rarity, and most importantly, mint errors, coins that remain in uncirculated condition, meaning they have never been used in everyday transactions, are already more valuable than regular worn coins, especially if they still shine with their original mint luster and have no visible scratches or damage. Collectors pay special attention to coins graded by professional grading services, where a high grade like MS-67 or higher can significantly increase the coin's value and demand in the market. But the real treasure lies in error coins, and this is where your excitement should truly begin, because error coins are rare mistakes made during the minting process, and collectors are willing to pay big money for these unique pieces. One of the most valuable errors found in the 2009 D. Lincoln penny is the double die error, where parts of the design appear slightly duplicated due to misalignment during striking, making the text or Lincoln's image look shadowed or doubled. Another rare and highly sought-after error is the off-center strike, where the coin design is not properly aligned and appears shifted, sometimes leaving a blank crescent on one side, which makes the coin visually unique and highly collectible. There are also die cracks and cuts, which occur when the minting die begins to break or wear out, creating raised lines or blobs on the coin surface that were never intended to be there. Some collectors even search for wrong planchet errors, where the coin is struck on a metal blank meant for a different denomination, making it extremely rare and valuable. The Denver Mint produced millions of these coins, but finding one with a major error or in near-perfect condition is much harder than you might think, which is why collectors carefully inspect every detail under magnification, even the smallest variation, like unusual color toning or an exceptionally sharp strike, can make a difference in how much a collector is willing to pay for a 2009 D. Lincoln penny. What makes this coin even more interesting is its connection to history, because every design tells a story about Abraham Lincoln's journey from humble beginnings to becoming one of the most important figures in American history. Imagine holding a coin that represents a chapter of that journey, and at the same time could be worth far more than its face value if you have the right version in your collection. Many people overlook these coins because they seem too modern, but smart collectors know that modern coins with errors or high grades can become future rarities as fewer pristine examples remain over time. So before you spend that penny or ignore it in your change, take a closer look, because you might be holding a hidden gem without even realizing it. Now let's talk about what these coins are actually worth in today's market, and this is the part you've been waiting for. A regular circulated 2009 D. Lincoln penny is usually worth around 1 cent to 5 cents depending on condition. An uncirculated example can range from 10 cents to a few dollars if it has strong eye appeal and original luster. High-grade coins certified at the top levels can reach values of $50 to over $100 in collector markets. Error coins are where the real money comes in, with double die or off-center examples selling for $100 to several $100s depending on the severity and visibility of the error, and in rare auction cases, exceptional high-grade error coins or unique varieties have been known to sell for over $1,000, making this small penny a surprisingly powerful collectible. Top 2. This tiny 1-cent coin from the United States might look like something you see every day, but the 2009 Lincoln penny is hiding a story so powerful and a value so surprising that collectors around the world are paying close attention to it right now. The year 2009 was not an ordinary year for pennies, because it marked a historic celebration of Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday and 100 years since the very first Lincoln cent was introduced into circulation. To honor this Milestone, the United States Mint released a special series of 4 different reverse designs, and each one represents a different stage of Lincoln's life, turning a simple coin into a collectible timeline of history. The first design shows Lincoln's humble beginnings in Kentucky, the second highlights his youth in Indiana, the third reflects his professional life in Illinois, and the fourth captures his presidency in Washington, making this set one of the most meaningful modern coin releases ever created. Because of this unique concept, collectors did not just see these coins as currency, they saw them as pieces of history, and that demand instantly made the 2009 Lincoln penny stand out from regular 1-cent coins. Now here is where things become truly exciting, because even though millions of these coins were minted, not all of them are equal, and some can be worth far more than their face value depending on condition, rarity, and minting errors. Coins that are found in brilliant, uncirculated condition, meaning they have never been used and still shine with their original mint luster, are already much more desirable to collectors who want the best examples possible. If a coin has sharp details, no scratches, and strong eye appeal, it can receive a high grade from professional grading services, and that grade can dramatically increase its value in the market. But the real hidden treasures are error coins. And this is where collectors become extremely serious, because these mistakes are rare, unpredictable, and often worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. One of the most famous and valuable errors is the double die error, where the design appears duplicated due to a misalignment during the minting process, making letters and numbers look doubled under magnification. Another fascinating error is the off-center strike, where the coin is not properly aligned when struck, creating a dramatic and visible shift in the design that makes each piece completely unique. Collectors also search for die cracks and cuds, which happen when the minting die begins to break, leaving raised lines or unusual shapes on the coin surface that were never intended to be there. There are also rare cases of broad strikes, clipped planchets, and even wrong planchet errors, where the coin is struck on the wrong type of metal blank, making it incredibly rare and highly valuable among collectors. What makes the 2009 Lincoln penny even more special is that it was produced in multiple mint locations, including Philadelphia and Denver, and each version can have slight variations that collectors carefully study and compare. Some coins also develop beautiful natural toning over time, adding shades of red, brown, and even rainbow-like colors, which can significantly increase their appeal and value to the right buyer. Many people ignore these coins because they seem modern, but experienced collectors know that modern coins with low survival rates in perfect condition can become extremely valuable in the future. That means the coin sitting in your pocket or coin jar right now could be worth far more than you think if it has the right features, condition, or error. Imagine discovering a coin that you once overlooked suddenly turning into a collector's prize, and that is exactly why coin enthusiasts carefully inspect every detail of their pennies. So before you spend your next 1-cent coin, take a moment to check it closely, because the 2009 Lincoln penny is one of those coins that rewards attention and patience. Now let's talk about what these coins are actually worth in today's real market, and this is the part every collector is waiting for. A regular circulated 2009 Lincoln penny is usually worth 1 cent to 5 cents depending on wear and condition. A bright uncirculated coin can be worth 10 cents to several dollars if it has strong luster and clean surfaces. High-grade certified coins can sell for $50 to over $100 depending on their grade and demand. Top 3. This small 1-cent coin from the United States may look completely ordinary, but the 2001 Lincoln penny is one of those hidden pieces that collectors carefully search for, because under the right conditions it can be far more valuable than its face value. At first glance, most people ignore pennies like this, especially modern ones. But experienced coin collectors know that even recent coins can hold surprising secrets, especially when they come from specific mints like Denver, marked with the small but important D mint mark. The 2001 Lincoln penny features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that has been a part of American coinage for generations, symbolizing history, leadership, and tradition. On the reverse side, you will find the classic Lincoln Memorial design, which was used for decades and remains one of the most recognizable coin designs in the world, making this penny both historical and iconic at the same time. Now here is where things begin to get interesting, because even though millions of these coins were produced, not all of them are equal in the eyes of collectors. the key factor that separates an ordinary coin from a valuable one is condition, and coins that have never been used in circulation are known as uncirculated coins, and these are much more desirable because they retain their original shine and detail. Collectors look for coins with bright red color, strong luster, and sharp details, because over time, most pennies lose their original appearance and turn brown due to oxidation. A coin that still has its original red surface after many years is considered special, and this alone can increase its value significantly among collectors. But condition is just the beginning, because the real excitement comes from mint errors, and this is where the 2001 D. Lincoln penny can truly surprise you. One of the most popular and valuable errors is the double die error, where the design appears slightly duplicated due to a misalignment during the minting process, and this can often be seen in the lettering or numbers. Another fascinating error is the off-center strike, where the coin is struck incorrectly and the design is shifted away from the center, creating a unique and eye-catching appearance that collectors love. There are also die cracks, which appear as raised lines on the coin surface when the minting die begins to wear out or break. And these small details can make a big difference in value. Some coins may also show cut errors, where a piece of the die breaks off completely, leaving a raised blob on the coin that was never meant to be there. Clipped planchet errors are another rare find, where a portion of the coin is missing due to an issue with the metal blank before it was struck, making the coin look unusual and highly collectible. Even more exciting are wrong planchet errors, where the coin is struck on a blank meant for a different denomination, making it extremely rare and highly valuable. Because the Denver Mint produced such a large number of 2001 D pennies, finding one with a major error or in perfect condition is not easy, which is why collectors carefully inspect each coin they come across. Some collectors even use magnifying tools and special lighting to examine every detail, searching for small differences that others might miss. What makes this coin even more interesting is that many people still have these pennies in jars, drawers, or everyday change, completely unaware that some of them could be worth much more than 1 cent. This is why coin collecting is so exciting, because the thrill of discovery is always there, and you never know when you might find a rare piece hiding in plain sight. The 2001 D. Lincoln penny may not seem special at first, but with the right combination of condition and error, it can become a valuable addition to any collection. So the next time you see a penny, take a closer look, check the mint mark, examine the details, and don't rush to spend it, because that small coin could hold a much bigger value than you expect. Now let's talk about what these coins are actually worth in today's market, and this is the part every collector wants to know. A regular circulated 2001 D. Lincoln penny is usually worth 1 cent to 3 cents depending on condition. An uncirculated example with bright red luster can be worth 10 cents to a few dollars. High-grade certified coins can reach values of $30 to over $100 depending on their quality and preservation. Top 4. This small and simple 1 cent coin might look like something you see every day, but the 1999 D. Lincoln penny is one of those hidden gems that collectors quietly search for, because under the right conditions it can be worth far more than its face value. At first glance, most people would never think twice about a penny from the late 1990s. But coin collectors know that even modern coins can carry surprising value, especially when they come from specific mints like Denver. Marked with the D mint mark, the 1999 D. Lincoln penny features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that has become one of the most iconic images in American coin history, representing strength, leadership, and legacy. On the reverse side, you will see the Lincoln Memorial, a design that remained on pennies for decades, making this coin instantly recognizable while also holding deep historical significance. Now here is where things begin to get interesting, because even though millions of these coins were minted, not all of them are equal, and some are far more valuable than others depending on condition and rare minting errors. Coins that are still in uncirculated condition are always more desirable, especially those that retain their original bright red color, because over time most pennies lose their shine and turn brown due to oxidation. Collectors carefully examine coins for their luster, surface quality, and sharpness of detail, because even the smallest imperfections can reduce value, while a flawless coin can be worth significantly more. But the real excitement begins when we talk about mint errors, because this is where an ordinary 1999 D. Lincoln penny can turn into a highly valuable collectible. One of the most famous errors connected to this era is the wide AM variety, where the spacing between the letters A and M in America on the reverse side is noticeably wider than usual, making it a rare and highly sought-after variation, although the wide AM is more commonly associated with Philadelphia Mint coins. Collectors still carefully check Denver coins for unusual spacing or design variations that could indicate a rare find. Another valuable error is the double die, where the design appears duplicated due to a misalignment during the minting process, and this can often be seen in the lettering or date. Off-center strikes are also highly collectible, where the coin design is shifted away from the center, creating a dramatic and unique appearance that stands out immediately. There are also die cracks and cuds, which occur when the minting die begins to break or wear out, leaving raised lines or blobs on the coin surface that were never intended to be part of the design. Clipped planchet errors are another exciting discovery, where a portion of the coin is missing due to a mistake in the metal blank before it was struck, giving the coin an unusual shape. Even more rare are wrong planchet errors, where the penny is struck on a metal blank intended for another denomination, making it extremely unusual and highly valuable among collectors. Because the Denver Mint produced a large number of these coins, finding one in perfect condition or with a strong visible error is much more difficult than it might seem. Over the years, many of these pennies have been heavily circulated, scratched, or damaged, which means high-quality examples are becoming harder to find and more desirable. Some coins also develop beautiful natural toning, with shades of red, brown, and even subtle color variations that can increase their visual appeal and collector interest. The 1999 D. Lincoln penny may seem ordinary, but it represents a time in modern coinage where small variations and errors can make a big difference in value. Collectors love the thrill of searching through everyday coins, because the possibility of finding a rare and valuable piece is always there. So the next time you come across a penny, take a closer look, check the mint mark, inspect the details carefully, and don't rush to spend it, because that small coin could hold a much bigger story and value than you expect. Now let's talk about what these coins are actually worth in today's market, and this is the part every collector is waiting for. A regular circulated 1999 D. Lincoln penny is usually worth 1 cent to 3 cents depending on its condition. An uncirculated example with strong red luster can be worth 10 cents to a few dollars, high-grade certified. Coins can reach values of $30 to over $100 depending on quality and preservation. Top 5. This small copper coin might look like just another old penny, but the 1972 Lincoln penny is one of the most exciting coins in modern U.S. coin collecting, and some rare versions of it have shocked collectors with how valuable they can actually be. At first glance, it carries the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. A design that many people have seen thousands of times, but hidden within this ordinary appearance are rare varieties that collectors are constantly hunting for. The early 1970s were an important period for U.S. coin production, and during this time, the minting process produced some of the most famous and valuable error coins ever discovered in Lincoln penny history. What makes the 1972 Lincoln penny so special is not just its age, but the presence of one of the most well-known mint errors in the coin collecting world. An error that has turned simple pennies into highly valuable collector items. This error is known as the double die obverse, and it is one of the strongest and most visible doubling errors ever seen on a U.S. coin, making it extremely popular among collectors of all levels. When you look closely at this rare variety, you can clearly see doubling on the date, the word liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust," and this doubling is bold enough to be visible even without magnification in some cases. This is not a minor mistake, this is a dramatic minting error that instantly separates an ordinary penny from a highly valuable collectible, and that is why collectors are always searching for it. But here is something very important to understand: not all 1972 pennies have this valuable doubling, because there are multiple varieties, and only specific ones show the true double die effect. Some coins may show slight machine doubling, which is much more common and far less valuable. So collectors must carefully study the details to identify the real double die variety. In addition to the famous double die, there are other types of errors that can increase the value of a 1972 Lincoln penny, making this coin even more exciting to search for. Off-center strikes are one of these errors, where the coin is struck incorrectly and the design is shifted away from the center, creating a unique and visually striking appearance. Die cracks and cuts can also appear on these coins, forming raised lines or blobs on the surface due to wear or damage to the minting die, clipped. Planchet errors are another rare possibility, where a portion of the coin is missing because of an issue with the metal blank before it was struck. There are even rare cases of coins being struck on the wrong planchet, making them extremely unusual and highly desirable among advanced collectors. Condition also plays a huge role in determining value, because coins that remain in uncirculated condition with bright original luster are much harder to find after so many years. Most 1972 pennies have been heavily used in circulation, which means they are worn and less valuable, but a coin that still looks fresh and sharp can stand out significantly. Collectors especially look for coins with strong red color, as many older copper coins have turned brown over time, and a bright red example is much more attractive and valuable. The thrill of collecting coins like the 1972 Lincoln penny comes from the possibility of discovering something rare in something so common, and that is what makes this hobby so exciting. Imagine going through your old coin jar or pocket change and suddenly finding a penny with bold doubling that could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. That is why collectors always take the time to carefully inspect every detail, because one small difference can mean a huge increase in value. The 1972 Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how a simple coin can carry both historical significance and the potential for serious value. So the next time you come across an old penny, especially from 1972, don't ignore it, take a closer look, check the details, and you might just discover something truly special. Now let's talk about what these coins are actually worth in today's real market, and this is the part every collector has been waiting for. A regular circulated 1972 Lincoln penny is usually worth 1 cent to 5 cents depending on its condition. An uncirculated example with strong red luster can be worth 10 cents to several dollars. A standard high-grade coin can reach values of $20 to over $50 depending on quality. The famous double die variety can sell for $100 to several $100s in average condition, and in rare auction cases, high-grade examples of the double die variety have sold for over $1,000 and in some exceptional cases several $1,000s, making this one of the most valuable and exciting Lincoln pennies you can still find today.